have any blocks at home, feel free to use them. You don't need them essentially, but if you just find them helpful. We are going to be doing the shoulders, needing a stretch today. Yes, we're going to stretch. We are doing some strength work, and I posted a video last week for a tripod pose, so we're going to build up to that and then give that a go together. So 30-minute flow, focusing on building strength and also stretching as well. If you are pregnant and you're doing this class with me, if you're in the first and second trimester, it is safe to follow me. If you're in the third, it's going to be a little bit too difficult to follow, so I wouldn't advise this stretch. There'll be some stuff you can't do, so just do what you can and skip up the bits that aren't available to you. So just take it easy, do what you can, and we're going to come to make a start then. So let's go to start seated onto our mats. If there's any issues with the sound, let me know. I think you should be able to hear me okay from here and the music. Okay, so let's cross the legs. Just shifting the glutes, coming up onto the sit bones. If you have a cushion that you'd like to sit onto, you can. Whichever feels more comfortable in the body. And let's just start with the palms facing up. Backs of the hands resting onto the thighs as we begin our practice. Eyes closed. And I want you just to take a moment here to notice how you feel in the class, how you feel at the start, how you feel in the body. And just notice if you're really rounded and slouching down into this posture. And I'd like you to imagine that you have this string onto the crown of your head that's slowly pulling you all the way up, lengthening you all the way towards the ceiling. So you've got this really lovely long spine, giving you plenty of space to breathe lovely and deeply. So really take a lovely deep breath in through the nose and a deep exhale through the nose. With that exhale, maybe you start to feel your shoulders relax slightly. Maybe you've noticed that you're gripping the teeth and you can slowly allow the jaw to relax. Just taking these lovely deep breaths in and out through the nose. Maybe you can set yourself an intention either for the day or the class ahead, something you'd like to achieve. Dedicate this next 30 minutes to you and your practice. We're going to turn the palms down onto the thighs, keeping the eyes closed if that feels okay. And we're going to come into a seated cat-cow. So it's a really gentle movement and have a little freedom with it. So as we inhale, we're going to reach the heart and chest forward as we draw the shoulders back. As we exhale, we round chin to chest, draw the belly in, creating this arch, this curve in the spine. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale and round. And now we're going to bring into a circular movement. So we're doing the cat-cow, but we're adding a circle. So as you inhale, you circle to the right. Reach the heart and chest forward. And as you exhale, you round, drawing back to the left. And you're just going to circle around the body here. Staying with this rhythm of the breath. And then if you can keep your eyes closed, it's a really nice meditative movement. Change directions now, so you come over to the left as you inhale. Heart and chest forward. As we exhale, we round back to the right. Taking a couple more movements here. Notice how it feels in the hips. Last one before we slowly come to center. Blinking the eyes open, reach the arms out to the side. Breathing in here as you stretch through the fingertips either side. And as you exhale, turn the palms under and feel this rounding in the shoulder here. So you're drawing under as you turn the palms towards the back. Inhale, palms come up, and you're turning the shoulders up. Exhale, so it's this little circular movement. So we start to warm up the muscles here, lovely deep breaths. 2 more. Last one. And bring the arms up, palms together. And exhale, bring hands to heart. You're going to bring your right hand over the head towards the left ear. So you bring your left fingertips to the side. Drop this left shoulder slightly, so you just gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Stretch along the neck here. Nice deep breaths. Slowly release. Let's take that the other way. Right fingertips beside your left arm comes up. Take a hold of the right ear as you gently bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. And just stretching here, all down the neck. And back to center. Inhale, arms into this beautiful cactus mudra. Exhale, we round, bring the forearms together, palms together. A little rounding in the upper back here. Inhale as we open across the chest, draw the arms back. Exhale as we round. 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Last time as we inhale, open. And as we exhale, we round. Breathing in to come all the way up on the hands. And bring your right arm in front of the left. Just take a hold of the elbows as you press your head back into the arms. If it feels a bit much in the legs, you can take your legs further forward here. Release. You can do that the other way. Reach the arms up. So if you had your right in front of left, bring the left in front of the right. Breathing in here. Beautiful work, everyone. Release. Let's roll through the shoulders, roll through the arms. And we're going to come to bring the legs out here. Just roll through the ankles and the toes. And we're going to bring the right foot in. So you're just having a little bend in the right leg, a really gentle twist to start. We're going to walk the left fingertips behind the back. Right arm to the right leg. Look over that left shoulder. Left toes reach up. This is safe to do through pregnancy as well because it's an open twist. Release. Switch legs. Left foot comes in. Right toes up. Left arm to the left thigh. Turn to the right. Breathe. Back to center. Nice work. Let's come over onto all fours now. Hopefully feeling a little warmer. And we're just going to stretch the wrists. So we're going to roll around the wrists. And I want you to look down at the hands. What are your fingertips doing? Are they lifted off of the mat? Are you pressing through the backs of the hands? Can you press through the knuckles and grip the fingertips down into the mat? Almost like you're trying to rip the mat up. So they look like little spiders. Change direction, circle the other way. And again, try to connect the movement with the breath here. And then we're going to come back to center. Now from here, you can take the knees a little further back to come into a plank variation. It's going to make it harder. Otherwise, bring the knees in for a tabletop version to make it easier. Keep the elbows hugging in towards the waist as you exhale. Little bend in the arms. Press up. Left arm circles forward, around, and down. Really strong. We lower. We go to the right arm now as we press up. Right arm comes forward, up, around and down. One more each side as we exhale, little press. Up, left arm circles forward, around and back down. Last time, we lower. We press up, right arm. And we place that hand down. Start to lean back slightly, come onto the fingertips, extend your arms forward. Have a little drop in the chest here. Just feel like your chest drops through the shoulders. Then press back up, almost round in the upper back. Then come back down. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Slowly bringing your hands in. You're going to bring your right toes to the outside edge of the mat. As you press through your right hand, have your wrist underneath the shoulder here. And look down at the hand. This is where it's really important to press through the knuckles and the fingertips so you've got a solid foundation. Take your left foot back to straight and press your left heel down so that your toes point to the left edge of the mat. Stack the hips and then if you can, bring your left arm up. So I want you to notice what's going on with this arm here. If you start to hunch this shoulder, when we come into the bigger poses, you're going to really struggle to balance. So roll this shoulder back and try to lengthen. So you've got a really strong support here in the arm. Bring this hand down, bring yourself back to all fours. We're going to take that the other way now. So left toes to the left edge of the mat. Take your right foot back, place the heel down. Look at that left hand, grip through the knuckles and the fingertips. Roll your left shoulder back in place as you reach your right arm up, breathe into here. Again, notice if you're slouching here and try to bring that shoulder back. Lengthen along the collarbones and then back to center. Let's just come onto the back of the right hand, gentle rock forwards and backwards, stretch it out. switch, other side. And switch. We're really focusing on that high energy in today's class. Pressing through the hands, let's come into that first downward dog. Tuck the toes under, lift those knees and take those hips all the way back. Feel this stretch here. Again, you want to emphasize pressing through the knuckles and the fingertips, really lengthening back. Having your feet nice and wide, have a little bend in the knees, and maybe you just start to rock through the hips here. Nice deep breaths. Nod the head yes. Shake the head out no. And rather than walking your feet to the top of the mat, can you walk your hands in? As you walk your hands in, you bring the heels down, and your hands are still quite far forward, so you've got this long stretch in the upper back as you have your feet nice and wide. Breathe into here, then walk it back into downward dog. Breathe. We're going to do that one more time. Nice deep breaths. If you are pregnant and that feels a little bit too much, you can stay with your knees down or in downward dog. Exhale it out, walk the hands back into that wide fold. Fingertips extend forward, really stretch down the backs of the legs here. Now walk the hands forward. Nice work everyone. We're going to bring it to the top of our mats. As we exhale, tiptoe the feet all the way forward into that fold. So remember, if you are pregnant, you're going to have your feet wider than hip width apart. Otherwise, you can have your feet hip width. Hands either onto the shins or your mats. If you need to bend the knees here, bend as much as you need to really lengthen along the back here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Keep the weight at the front of the feet as you come into that fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. As we exhale, press through the heels. Feel your sit bones widen. As you press, switching on those glutes, we slowly roll up, arms to the side. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. You're going to stretch over to the right. Let's stretch all down that left side of the body. Try not to bring that left shoulder forward. Really open across the chest. And then release. Hands to hips, slowly take it down back into that fold. As you come into that fold, step your right foot back. If you're pregnant, keep your left foot towards the left edge of the mat, so you've got plenty of room for baby here, otherwise to the inside of that wrist. And you're going to lower down that back knee. If you look at my back foot, if you press through the top of the ankle, you can take the pressure out of that knee. But use any blankets you need to as you come up, press the left thigh away. Breathe into here. Feel this beautiful stretch in this right hip. Inhale, arms come up. Now from here, can you just slightly bring the arms back behind the head without moving the chest? So you're just moving the arms here, just as you start to bring the arms back slightly behind the head. Breathe into here, press the hands together if you can. Release. Bring the hands down as we step back into tabletop and into downward dog. Breathe into here. Now if you are a regular yoga practitioner, if you come to my classes and you want to add vinyasas in here, you can do. Under that exhale, walk the feet forward, we're back into that fold. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Bring your hands to your hips, bending the knees, slowly come up. And reach the arms around you as you breathe in. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Inhale, reaching up. This time take a hold of the right wrist, take it over to the left. Really lift up and open here, breathing into the ribs. Nice big stretch. And back to center. Release the arms around all the way down the legs. Let's come into that fold. Inhale to lift. You're going to step that left foot back this time as we lower down that left knee. Remember, you can untuck the toes here as you press down through the ankle, takes it out of the knee slightly. Up onto your right thigh. Just begin by pushing that thigh away from you, deepening that stretch. You can bring this into more of a marriage proposal position, so your leg's closer to you. But the further forward that leg is, the deeper into that stretch you're going to get. Arms extend up, palms together. Again, can you press the palms together and just start to bring the arms back slightly. Breathe into here. That doesn't mean you start to leave the chin forward. Keep the chin nice and relaxed. Release, hands come down. Step it back into tabletop and then into downward dog. If you want to take a vinyasa there, you can. Breathe. In and out through the nose, nice deep breaths. Now just bringing the knees down, I'm going to show you two options here. So the first option, which if you are quite new at yoga, if you're pregnant and you don't feel like overexerting yourself, you're going to come into a supported plank and you're just going to bring the right arm up and you're going to stay here. Otherwise, your second option is you're going to come with me. From our downward dog, you're going to bring the weight into your left foot and lift the right leg up. Your right knee comes in towards you, you're going to place it down to the right edge of your mat and your toes will be turned out to the right. As you do that, come onto the edge of your left foot and point your toes in towards you as you press through your left hand. Now remember, this shoulder wants to roll back, engage the fingertips and the knuckles. As your right arm extends, you're coming into this supported side plank here. I'm going to come forward slightly so you can see me better. Breathe into here. Now to go further, you bring your right hand behind the head. Exhale, a little twist. So if you're pregnant, you're not going to do this version. You're going to bring your elbow towards the left elbow. Then you're going to come back up. Then from here, you're going to bring your right foot to the inside of your right wrist as you come into that lunge. So it's a little, quite a bit. Remember, if you're pregnant, you're going to bring your right foot to the outside. So you might come from here and you'll just step that foot forward and lift that back knee. Now from here, slowly come all the way up. You can bring the hands onto the thighs first to help you lift. Bring the arms up overhead. Great work, everyone. Now we're going to bring the forearms together. Now if you don't have that availability in the upper body, if this is too much, you can just press the hands together, but really press. Otherwise, see if you can squeeze the forearms together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. So it's a really subtle movement, but you can really start to feel the arms working here. Two more. Last one. And then from here, release, open the arms into this cactus mudra. We're going to bring that back heel down into that warrior two. Now if you're doing this from pregnant, you're going to bring this left foot forward slightly, so you've got heel to heel alignment. Otherwise, you're going for heel to arch. Now as we come into that cactus mudra, if you're really feeling it in the arms, you can have your hands towards the hips and just stay here. Otherwise, we're going to work them. So we're going to turn the arms under and up. Under, up. Great work. Really squeeze back as you turn under. Breathing in here. Last one. And hold it here. Straighten that front leg. Pull the quad in. You're going to extend through the arms. Reach forward. Now the first option, if you're really feeling it, bring your left hand to your left hip. Bring your right hand towards the right thigh. You're just going to hold it here. If you are pregnant, maybe you can give baby a little love. Otherwise, if you can reach this right arm forward, keep the side of the waist long as you lower slightly. Bring your left shoulder back and you bring your left arm up, holding it into here. Now we're starting to work those obliques. Hold it here. Keep pressing down through the pinky edge of that back leg. As you exhale, palms together, little rounding in the upper back. Inhale to open. So strong. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Back into warrior two. Hands to hips. You're going to turn the feet into goddess pose. So your heels are turned in, your toes are turned out. If you're really feeling a little low energy today, maybe just have a little bend. Otherwise, join me and get nice and deep into this pose here. Knees nice and open. In line with the second and third toe. Lift up through the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. Can you bring the right arm in front of the left? Turn the hands around and press the palms towards one another. Stretch across the shoulders, breathe. And release. So strong, everyone. We're going to come to the top of our mats. Shake out those hands, shake out those arms. Last thing before we come down and into the other side. So you're going to, if you're pregnant, this is the one option you're going to do. You're going to have your feet nice and wide. You're going to sink into a little chair squat. Right hand to the inside of your right thigh. Left arm comes up. And then you'll switch. So that's an open twist, really safe for baby. You can do that as a beginner too. Otherwise, you're going to join me. Thighs together. Back into the palms together, forearms together if you can. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Up, to the right. Center, left. Really strong. Keep squeezing those arms together. So we're working the core here and we're working those arms. Breathe into here. If you want to get deeper into the legs, you can lower deeper into this squat. One more each side. And then release. Hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Let's squeeze those shoulders together. Step the feet wide. Little bend in the knees. Take it down into that fold. Add a little rock here, side to side. Release the hands down. Lift the chest as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to step one foot back and then the other into tabletop. Again, if you want to add a vinyasa here, you can. Otherwise, you're going to join me with a cat-cow. You'll inhale, open the chest. Exhale to round. And back into downward dog. So strong, everyone. We've got one more side to do. Then we're going to have a little bit of mat play and then we'll stretch it out. So remember, option one, you're going to come onto the knees and you're going to lift the left arm up. This is the pose I'd advise if you are pregnant. Option two, you're going to join me. Left leg lifts. You bring the knee in towards you. You place the foot to the left edge of your mat. Hang your toes over the edge. Now, if your right foot's too close towards you, you'll notice your hips are really up at this angle. So you're going to take your right foot back slightly. Come onto the edge of the foot, lift the toes towards the ankle. Stack the shoulder nice and neatly over the wrist. Grip the fingertips, left arm up. So strong, everyone. Now, if you can you bring the left hand behind the head? As you exhale, bring that elbow under as you round. Nice gentle twist. Inhale, open. Release. Bring that hand down. You're going to step that left foot inside of the left wrist. Now, remember, if you're pregnant, it'll come to the outside. Bring your hands onto the thighs, slowly come up. And if you're struggling with your balance today, you can bring that back foot in slightly. Otherwise, get nice and deep. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms together. Pressing either just the hands, or if you can, squeeze the forearms together too. Inhale, we reach the arms up, just the arms. Exhale to lower. Lift and down. Nice deep breaths here. Really strong. We've got two more. Last one. And then release, open into that cactus mudra. We're going to open into that warrior two. Remember, for pregnancy, you're going to have heel to heel, so your right foot comes forward slightly. Otherwise, go for heel to arch. Keep that left knee over the ankle, tummy's in, so we don't want to stick our bottoms out here as we come into that cactus mudra. Now, if you can, draw under and up. Breathe. Nice deep breaths in the body as we warm up those shoulders, warm up those arms. Last two, last one, and then release. We're going to straighten out through the arms, straighten that front leg, pull the quad all the way up. Option to bring your right hand to the right hip as you lean forward. Maybe you bring your left hand down, right shoulder back. Otherwise, really reach that left arm forward. Keep that length in the waist. Right shoulder comes back as you reach your right arm up. Inhale. As you exhale, palms together, little round in the upper back. Inhale to open. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Back into warrior two. Hands to hips. Come into that goddess squat now as we drop down into it. And then as we reach the arms up, this time bring your left forearm in front of the right. As you press the palms together, open across the shoulders. If this is too much, just grab a hold of the elbows. Remembering this is your practice, so go where your body feels good. And release. Roll the shoulders, come to the top of the mat, shake it out. We're going to come back into those twisting chair poses to finish. So remember, nice and wide if you're pregnant as you come into these open twists. Otherwise, thighs together, toes together, and you're going to join me with the hands and the forearms together. As you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, little twist to the left. This time, see if you can sink lower. Inhale to the right as we exhale. And up and down. Really strong. Go with the breath here and really engage the core as you twist. and you breathe out. So we're working those core muscles here. Last one each side. And then we're going to come back to center. Release the arms behind the back. Switch the interlink of the hands. So if you had your right thumb on top, you'll switch it to the left thumb on top. Squeeze those shoulders together, feet nice and wide. Open across the chest. Inhale. Exhale it down into that fold. Little rock side to side. And then release the arms down. And stepping it back either into that tabletop. If you want to take it through vinyasa, you can. We're going to go into a cat-cow if not. Inhale, open across the chest. Exhale as we round to center. And then you're going to come onto the forearms. So just start to roll through the hips here. So if you've done a vinyasa, you can take your time joining us to come into this pose. Just really reach back, stretching out those shoulders. Now, if you're pregnant, you're going to stay here and you're going to come into a child's pose when we come in to do our tripod. Otherwise, what I want you to do is we're going to just engage the core slightly. So you're going to press the palms down, and as you come forward, bring your nose towards the thumbs and then send it back. Come forward. And back, really strong. Let's do 2 more. And back. Last one. And back. And then from here, so we're going to come into our tripod pose. And what I want you to do, so if you've got anything going on with the neck at all, or the shoulders, and this is too much, you're going to skip it. Otherwise, you're going to come onto the crown of the head. Now, the crown of the head is the very top of the head, so right at the center. So you're going to press down onto the crown head, and you can use a cushion here if you want to, anything for a bit of support. And then notice what's going on with your arms here. If your hands are quite far forward, you're going to struggle to balance. So walk your hands back so that your wrists are almost underneath the elbows. Now look at the fingertips. We discussed about gripping down through the knuckles and the fingertips. So you don't want to have your weight back into the back of the palms. Really press forward. Keep those arms hugging in, and then you're going to lift up the knees if you can. And this might be enough for you. If you feel any discomfort in the neck, you're going to stop. Otherwise, see if you can bring one knee onto the back of one arm, and then one knee onto the other as you gently lift the feet up. And it's all about that balance. You only want about 30% of the weight on the head, and 70% on the arms. Then whenever you want to come down, you'll just gently bring one foot down and then the other. As you come out of it, so you can take your time, have a couple of little goes. Again, you don't want it, if you have a wall near you, you can do this next to a wall, so you'll just feel a bit more comfortable to fall onto the wall rather than onto your mat. But that's a good way to get the balance right before you start looking at going into your headstands. So give that a try. And then whenever you've had enough, we're going to stretch it out. So we're going to take the knees nice and wide, feet together. Let's take those sit bones all the way back to the heels. Extend your arms forward. Just bring the forehead onto the mat and just pause here. And just start to notice the breath. Taking nice deep breaths in and out through the nose as you kind of relax down onto your mat a little bit deeper. Very gently walking the hands in, slowly coming up. Okay, staying onto the knees if that feels okay. If it doesn't feel comfortable, you can take your legs out in front. We're going to have some stretches to the upper body. So we're going to reach your right arm across the chest. Take a hold with the left arm. So your forearm comes into the crease of the left elbow. Pull it along to stretch all along here. Nice deep breaths. Just feeling those heart rates start to slow down. Maybe your breathing starts to come back to your natural rhythm. And we slowly release. We'll do that the other side as the left arm comes across the chest this time. Take a hold with the right. Pull it across. Breathe into here as you stretch across the left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And then slowly release. Arms reach up overhead. Right arm in front of the left. Just grab a hold of the elbows. Press the head back slightly. Stretching across here. And then release. We're going to do that the other side. So you'll reach up. Switching the arms around as you take a hold of the elbows. Pressing the head back. Breathing into here. And then slowly release. Drop the chin to the chest. Roll the head over to the left shoulder. Stretching down that right side here. And then dropping the chin once more. Roll it over to the right shoulder. Stretching the left. And as we come back to center, let's just take the legs out in front. Let's give them a little roll through the feet, the ankles. And then from here, we're going to take it into a little fold. So just take your feet wide if you're pregnant, just so you've got plenty of room for baby. Otherwise, having your feet about hip width apart. Start with a bend in the knees, hands beside you. Shift the glutes. And just start to fold over the thighs. And then maybe your arms come forward. And then maybe you can straighten out the right leg. And then the left leg as you press your heels away. And start to pull the body down towards the legs. Obviously, if you're doing this from pregnancy, your feet will be wide and you'll have plenty of room for bump. And you won't be going down as deep. And slowly roll it all the way back up. Bending that right leg, cross the right leg over the left thigh, placing the foot down. So for pregnancy, you'll come into an open twist. So your left hand will come behind you, right arm to the right leg as you look over your left shoulder. If you're not pregnant, we're going to come into a closed twist. So you're going to bring your right hand behind you. Keep this right thigh hugging into the belly. As you place your left, back of your left arm onto that right thigh and look over your right shoulder. Keep your left toes reaching up to the sky. Breathing into here. And if your right hand is really far back, you're not going to get the benefit of this pose, so keep your right hand quite close to you as you come into this stretch. And then release. Switch out the legs, give them a little shake in between. So right foot over the left thigh, place the foot down as you reach your right toes up, sit up nice and upright. If you're pregnant, your right hand will stay behind you as your left arm comes to the left leg and you look over your right shoulder. Otherwise, we're going to bring the left hand behind the back, right arm to left thigh, look over that left shoulder. Breathe into here, getting this lovely twist. We're going to bring the feet together, knees wide. Reach the toes back, inhale, lift up through the chest. And as you exhale, maybe you can bring the elbows to the thighs, to the legs as you start to lean forward. Stretching out those thighs. Breathing into here. And slowly rolling back up. We're going to finish with a little bit of mindfulness here. Just a bit of awareness in the body. So coming into that comfortable seat, having the eyes closed. Let's just bring the palms facing down onto the thighs. And just begin to notice how you feel here now at the end of your practice. Notice if the energy around you feels different at all. Just begin to relax the space between the eyebrows. Again, we're unclenching the teeth. So you relax the muscles around the jaw and all down the neck. As you bring that awareness into the shoulders, just start to feel the muscles relax here all the way down the arms to the tips of your fingers. Allowing the belly to hang free. Just noticing the gentle rise and fall with the inhale and the exhale. And slowly bringing hands to heart. As we take a moment to feel gratitude, being grateful for our bodies for taking us through this practice today. And let us bow our heads as we close our practice. Namaste. So take your time coming to, gently blinking the eyes open, added any movement here in the shoulders, maybe taking the head side to side.